Arsenal have just spent 34 million on Tzolis. And listen, guys, this isn't just another winger signing. Arteta and Arsenal might have just found one of Europe's most complete attacking weapons, a player who's produced elite numbers in the league and could completely transform Arsenal's left-hand side. So today, let's break down exactly why Arsenal signed him and why this signing might be better than what fans realise. Now, anyone that's watched Tzolis play will say one thing in particular. He's brilliant on the transition. He's brilliant when he has to attack space, when the defensive line is retreating, when the defensive block is unsettled. Of these 23 assists last year in the league, 11 of them came on the transition. So you could argue he's brilliant for a side that's going to sit in a mid-block and break quickly. But the problem is, Arsenal are not that side. So why have Arsenal actually signed him? Well, Tzolis actually has a big box presence about him. He averages over 6 touches per night in the opposition penalty box, which is extremely high. And he's brilliant at arriving late on the back post. So one thing I can guarantee you is, if Saka stays fit, we're going to see a lot of Saka in-swingers, Tzolis goals. But let's be honest, Arsenal have signed him for one reason in particular, and that is to replace Leandro Trossard. So how do their numbers compare? Now, when we're comparing the numbers, it's not even a debate. Trossard gets battered in pretty much every single category. Goals, Tzolis comes out on top. Assists, same thing. Shots, same thing. Touches in the penalty area, progressive runs, name whatever. Tzolis comes out on top against Leandro Trossard. And listen, when we're looking at the more creative passing metrics, you can argue there's a bit more of a competition. We know Trossard, you could argue he can play in the number 10. He has a footballing brain. He's a brilliant passer. And you can see from some of the stats, Trossard comes out on top when it comes to passes to the final third. Passes to the penalty area though, Tzolis comes out on top. Crosses, assists, expected assist numbers, Tzolis competes very well. And in fact, he comes out on top. But there's an elephant in the room. And I know everyone is shouting at the screens, you cannot compare the Belgium League to the Premier League. And you're 100% correct. So let's have a look at how Tzolis done in the Champions League last year. Now, I know every single person watching this video right now expects me to show his Champions League numbers, and they look completely different from what he's producing in the league. What if I told you you were wrong? Look at his numbers in the Champions League. Let's start with this graphic on the screen right here. You guys can see the big chances he gets per 90 minutes in the Champions League. It's nearly 1. That is extremely impressive. If we're looking at non-penalty XG plus open play expected assist numbers, again, he's in the upper echelon of wingers in the Champions League. And he's playing for Club Brugge. Arsenal fans, I'm telling you, be excited for this signing. And one thing I always say, I love wingers that can create separation to get across into the box or to get a shot off. Look at Tzolis' shot numbers in the Champions League this year. He got 3.37 shots per 90 minutes. He's not scared to shoot, and this is why I say Arsenal are replacing Trossard, someone that was almost like a sniper at times in front of goal that can get 10 to 15 goals quite easily. Tzolis, in my eyes, he's younger and has the potential to replicate that alongside his impressive creative numbers, which you guys can see on the screen. His open play expected assist numbers in the Champions League, very, very impressive. His expected threat created, very impressive. Most metrics, Tzolis is looking very, very good for a winger. Now, just talking a bit more about his creativity. He got 23 assists last year in the league, which is very, very impressive. But something that I think people need to realize, 9 out of the 23 assists that he did get came from low crosses / cutbacks. He's not one-dimensional in terms of his creativity. He can put an early ball across the box. He can fight late runners. And this is why I think Viktor Gyökeres is really going to enjoy playing alongside him. You saw last season, Gyökeres was frustrated at times when the ball wasn't coming in. Tzolis should provide that. Now the question becomes, how do Arsenal and Arteta get the best out of him? I expect him to start on the left-hand side, obviously, but he should not be the one keeping width. He's not the quickest. He should be given a license to start out wide and come inside. And to be honest, I expect Arsenal and Arteta to do exactly that with him. Arsenal like to pin teams back in that 3-2-4-1 shape, and their left back / left 8 is normally very, very good at pulling defenders away, which gives Tzolis the space to operate in these little half spaces, which is something we saw Trossard do last year. I expect him to get between 15 to 20 goals in all competitions, and I think that would be a very good debut campaign in the Premier League. Let's see how he does. I expect this signing to be a success. Let me know what you guys think down below. Make sure you guys like the video and we'll be back soon.